What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm taking you guys on another trip to the thrift. But before we get into today's video, just a quick disclaimer, mainly like a quick question. For me, I've noticed that thrift stores are super expensive right now. A lot of the shoes and the clothing that I would usually spend anywhere between maybe 10 and 20 bucks for, these thrift stores are pricing them as high as 85 bucks. Bruh. Some pieces I'm coming across like $200 for like hard goods and electronics. So drop a comment and let me know if you guys have been experiencing the same thing in your area. I know gas prices and groceries are all super inflated right now, but I think thrift stores are also increasing their prices, especially in my area here in Arizona. So drop a comment and let me know. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so first thing I came across was this Gucci scarf, and I'm pretty sure this one is not legit, mainly just because as I'm looking at the G's, they don't quite look like G's. They almost look like two C's next to each other, so pretty sure this one is not legit. Looked at the tags really quickly. It did have some Chinese writing on there, so like I said, I'm pretty sure these are not legitimate. But at the end of the day, the accessories, the scarves, belts, you definitely want to check those areas of thrift stores because you might come up on something that's actually legit and sells for a ton of profit. But this one in particular ended up just passing on that one. Next up, came up on this BMW motorcycle jacket, and this is the first time that I found one of these types of pieces in the thrift. At this point, I usually pick up some of the same exact items. That's why I don't really do too many trip to the thrift videos, mainly because I'm picking up the same exact stuff in every thrift store that I go to. My eye is basically trained for the same things. But this jacket was a nice brand that stood out to me. They were asking a decent amount of money for this one, 35 bucks. But of course, with that additional 20% off, this one might be worth it after all said and done. And comps on eBay were selling for like over 100 bucks. Some were even as high as 200. So definitely going to be grabbing that one up. Next is this Icon leather jacket, and this one was in pretty rough shape. This one I'm going to definitely need to have to clean this because, like I said, does have a ton of stains. But once this jacket is all clean, these also sell for right around 150 to 200 bucks as long as it's clean. And in the condition that it's in right now, probably closer to 60 or 70 bucks. But I'm going to try to get some of those stains out and just try to clean it up as best as possible because I know these types of jackets would be selling, especially during this time of the year. So next to that was some more leather jackets. This one was a leather vest. Here was a Morona leather jacket, and I believe Morona was Target's brand before they started switching over to their Goodfellow stuff, so ended up passing on that. And then this Wilson's leather jacket almost looks like a Halloween costume. I don't know why this one was so long, so definitely had to pass on that. This one was just, I don't know who wants that, but I'm definitely going to grab this motorcycle jacket up for sure. All right, y'all, so next up came up on this pair of Dunks, and these are definitely a much older pair. Of course, these are not in the best condition, but these I believe are dated from 2003, so definitely going to be grabbing these up. Just going to try to clean these up a bit and probably get maybe 70 to 80 bucks for these shoes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how good I clean these up. But as you guys know, especially the kids today, they're loving these Dunks, so I'm definitely going to have to grab those up. Next up came up on this Harris tweed jacket. Really good condition. I didn't see any moth holes or anything like that. I usually try to look out for moth holes anytime I'm looking for these wool jackets, especially Harris tweed. But this one didn't have a size tag on the inside, so for that reason I ended up passing on it. But overall, like I said, really good condition, just without the size tag. Not to say it would not sell if it doesn't have a size. Well, take that back. Here was a moth hole. This one it looked like a small repair job that they tried to do to that one. But outside of that, like I said, if it doesn't have a size tag, it just takes a really long time to sell. So next was a really good find. Came up on one of these Logitech Harmony One remote controls. These remote controllers usually always sell for at least 40 at very minimum. Sometimes I get a lot more, sometimes 80 to 100 bucks depending on the model of the remote. But this one in particular probably sell closer to 50 bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one up, especially since it was in such good condition. So speaking of condition, here was a Nintendo Wii, and I tell you guys all the time, I find these pretty much daily. I usually always grab them up, but anytime I find Nintendo Wiis that are missing the hinges on top, these take a lot longer to sell. So not to say that I don't pick them up if they're broken hinges on top, but I usually just keep it in mind the fact that it's going to sell for a lot less and it's going to take a lot longer. So for me, for that particular Wii, I ended up passing on it only because it was a little too rough, and I have a few of those in my
inventory that I have to actually still list. So next came up on this pair of Air Max 720s. Not the best condition, but they were asking $50 for those, so I had to pass. And they've been sitting there for a few weeks, so I'm actually surprised it's still there. Here was a pair of Kyries in a size 16, so super big size. And size 16 is a tough size. This is one that's going to sit for a really long time, so just keep that in mind. Larger sizes take a long time to sell. And here was a pair of Cole Haan Zero Grands. They're asking $50, but these were practically brand new. Maybe worn, maybe once or twice, maybe. But the bottoms of these were really clean. But for $50, it didn't matter if it was brand new in the box. I was still going to pass on that. $50 is just way too much. So here was a pair of Wolverine boots, and this is another pair that I ended up passing on. But for the most part, this is a good brand for you guys to be on the lookout for. I don't know what's going on today in this thrift store, but the prices were just really high. But like I said, Wolverine is a strong brand. Not this particular style, but Wolverine has a ton of other boots that's really popular. So if you guys see them, definitely check the models, because some sell for way more than others. So as you guys know, Christmas is around the corner. My birthday's on Christmas, and I just had a daughter, so I was thinking of grabbing this one up and dressing up as Santa for her. But this isn't gonna cut it, mainly because this one was a little too small for me. But I would even check the comps on these to see if people are actually picking those up, and they're selling for like $25. So if it was a little cheaper, I probably would have took a chance on it. And here was this pair of Reebok CrossFit sneakers. These were not in the best shape, but they overall were pretty good condition. These are selling for closer to $50 to $60, but they have not been selling that well for me. So anytime I come across Reebok CrossFit shoes, I usually pass on them. They used to be a lot more popular a couple years ago, but I think CrossFit as a whole just isn't as popular as it used to be. Next was this pair of Merrells, and they were missing the insoles, but overall $8, and these were in really good condition. So even though it was missing the insoles, still decided to go ahead and just grab these up and take a chance on it. These probably will sell closer to maybe $40 to $50 once I get them cleaned up, of course. Now this shoe was crazy because this was a nice pair of Barclays, but once I seen that price tag, oh damn, boy, Goodwill is really tripping lately. I don't know if they're just inflating all of their prices across the country. Drop a comment, let me know. But lately, when it comes to shoes and these Goodwills, their prices have been really high. Here I thought this was a pair of Air Max 95s, but then once I looked a little closer, of course, I realized that these were just a pair of Air sneakers. They didn't even have the bubbles on the front. Bruh. But this was $25. So like I said, the cost of shoes in Goodwill right now has been insane. So drop a comment, let me know if it's been the same for you guys. So as you guys know, if you guys follow the channel, I used to find a ton of Bose stuff. Lately it's been kind of slow, not finding as much Bose as I used to, but that was a decent piece, but I just didn't have the power supply for that, so I ended up passing on that one. And right next to that was these two Rock Band guitars. This one was for the Nintendo Wii, and this other one was for the Xbox 360, and thankfully this one already sold. As soon as I find these usually always sell for right around $50 to $60, so that was a nice low flip. And next came up on this Nintendo Wii U, but the surprising thing about this one is, one, it was only $12.49, so that was a pretty good price, especially since this was the Nintendo Wii U. But this one, the power supply for this one was like a European AC adapter. So good thing is that I have the adapter for this piece where I can kind of switch it to the American style. So I'll test this once I get home, make sure it at least turns on. But I'll most likely just sell this one with the console. I don't know if anybody will actually want that European power supply. You might even sell it separately, but for the price, I gotta take a chance on that. So next came up on this Magic Jack Plus. This one was actually brand new and sealed. That's the only reason why it grabbed my attention. But once I checked the comps on these, I was blown away. As you guys can see, they were asking $4 for these, but these are selling for like $60 all day long. So definitely had to grab that one up. So this was definitely a very interesting find. Came up on this Sherpa vest, and the brand is Swagger. So you definitely got to have the right swag to pull off something like this. This one will probably sell a lot faster on Poshmark. Unique pieces like this, vintage pieces like this, they do sell on eBay for me, but they usually take a lot longer. So something like this, I'm definitely gonna have to cross list this and get it up on Poshmark as soon as possible, and hopefully get at least $50 for this. Alright y'all, so we are back in the crib, and I wanted to test out that Nintendo Wii U for you guys here on camera. The adapter that I attached to this is kind of loose, so I'm still going to go ahead and turn this on because luckily it does power on. But let's just see if there's any games in here. That's usually one of my favorite things to do anytime I get a Nintendo Wii. First time in a long time with the Wii U, but luckily we came up on Super Smash Bros for Wii U. So I'm not sure if this is actually going to be like some type of European version or anything like that, especially since this AC adapter definitely is a European style. So I'm going to have to do some more research on this one and make sure that I'll be able to sell this one. But it seems like it should be the same one that everyone else get. Well, no, this is the European version of Super Smash Bros. So this might be, I don't know, this might sell for a little more money, maybe a little less. I don't know. I'm going to do some research, put up a comp on this screen just in case. But the overall condition of this disc is super, super clean. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and sell this one separately. And I'm also going to go ahead and buy the power supply that's needed for this, because I don't think this is a European version of the Nintendo Wii U. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if this 10103 means it's European. Who knows? But I'm definitely going to go ahead and buy the sensor bar and the additional AC adapter for this. And I have a ton of HDMI cables, so I don't need any one of those. But this one, with everything, once I buy everything, I should be able to make a decent amount of profit on that. And hopefully this one sells for a decent amount of profit as well.
Alright, y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also drop a comment. Let me know which one of these finds was your favorite one of the day. For me, it was that BMW jacket. I'm still doing some more research on that because I'm not sure if it's a women's jacket or it's a men's jacket. But just checking comps, those jackets are selling anywhere between like $200 to $250. So I'm going to go ahead and price mine on the higher end. And one thing that's been working for me lately, especially over the past maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I've been running sales like crazy, and it's basically just 10% off, and I'm running sales maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 days at a time, and it's really been helping increase my sales. So I'm going to price that jacket on the high end, and of course with that, you know, additional discount that I'm offering all of my customers, of course that'll kind of offset it. But at the end of the day, I'll price it high, that way I can still get exactly what I want in terms of profit. So drop a comment, let me know what you guys have been doing in terms of, you know, running sales and promotions to kind of get your eBay business going. But like I said, running promotions have been doing a ton of good for me, and thankfully sales are still really strong. I'm just trying to make sure that I keep going out there, keep sourcing as much as possible, but of course keep listing as much as possible, because that's how you really get to the money. So that's all I got for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.